we up in here. We recording? Is it? Yes, it is. Hey guys, how y'all doing? Welcome to another episode of TDGS Reviews. You know what we're talking about. We're talking about Euphoria episode 7, the theater in its doubles. What was our initial thoughts, guys?
You know, we were real excited about this episode. Like everything's been leading up to the play. Like
So excited.
they did not
So
let us
excited.
down either.
But the way that everybody got their shit aired out.
It was so
Lexi
good.
did that. Lexi did that. I was like, yes, come on, Lex.
She
You
did that.
did this.
Lexi put her whole foot in that play. Let me tell you something. She needs a Tony, whatever you want to call it. What do directors get?
Tony.
Okay.
For plays.
Tony did for
Tony.
Broadway and stage plays. So
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
I
it
feel
was.
like
Yeah, go ahead.
no, I just feel like we needed this episode after what we got. You know, the last two episodes. I feel like we needed this because the last two episodes was a whole lot. It was just a whole lot.
this was
And
a nice break.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was great.
Lighthearted. And
I don't know. I mean, every time I watch a Euphoria episode, I'm at the edge of my seat. I'm have so much anxiety. I don't know.
No, but
I
this
mean,
one
it did
was
have. It did
Yeah.
have some points. It had some points where you were a little on the edge of your seat. But
Mhm.
like the overall, because y'all know I've been waiting for this play. I've been waiting for this play. It's all I could talk about was the fucking play. So I was like excited because everybody had a moment. The only person that was laughing the entire time was her mother.
Yo,
and
so-
Rue was cracking up. Rue was cracking up
Rue had
too,
a
Whoa.
good time too.
even at
But-
herself.
But everybody else, you know, they had their moment where they was laughing, and then they part came, and it was like, "Nah, wait, hold on, bitch, you ain't have to do all of that."
Right.
But and she did it like Lex did a great job. Bobby was on point with
I love Bobby.
being there. Bobby's hilarious. She's
Y'all
awesome.
know I love Bobby since we first saw her.
his crumbs, okay.
Yeah, if Ethan got his moment in the sun.
Well,
we live with
Ethan
it.
did his thing. His thing.
Child. So let's timeline this, child. So, you know, Lexi, you know, she had to play. The episode was centered around the play, but it had parts with Fesco and that situation. We'll get into that. Basically, we got Euphoria seasons 1 through 2 in the theatrical play. Okay. Let me just say the set design. I'm like, can we like?
Where was the budget? Whose budget? Did they
Hey, my Euphoria High's budget.
My high school plays.
And them bathrooms looking like that.
high school play is
When I was doing my high school plays, and when we had plays in high school, we didn't have all that. Just saying.
Not even in college, and my college is known for musicals. The set design was just, okay. We had moving shit. This was Tyler Perry.
Not Tyler Perry.
That
Tyler
like
Perry set
turn
designs.
that like turnstile thing that she was watching.
Uh-huh.
that was beautiful.
I was like,
Or remember,
that's
like when
my
they
high
were
school.
walking, when she was walking the hallway past the lockers, and
Mhm.
it was constantly rotating.
That was
That's what I was
beautiful,
talking
yeah.
about. That's what I was talking
Oh,
about. that
okay, because they
turnstile
did it
thing.
again
Yeah.
where it kind of like, I was like, what the hell?
I was like, child,
That was
okay,
beautiful.
they got money.
But I loved that Lexi was like having her main character moment. Like she was, you know, she
Yeah.
was bossing people around and telling people. She was telling
Yeah,
people
like
she
this
didn't
is
give
the
a fuck
first
about how they
time. This is,
felt.
this is the first time that we actually see Lexi, like, you know, this is her episode.
In a-
Like,
in a-
Can I
yeah.
have somebody like Bobby in my life that I can be like, listen, I need this done, and they go get that shit done in the cute little Bobby voice too. I just need the cute little
Mhm.
voice like Bobby. I need it.
yeah. And it seems like throughout the episode, it goes back and forth from the play to what really
For real, yeah, I
really
did
I
like
mean,
that.
it all really happened, but it's like in between, like the two characters, you know, two different characters. I mean, it's weird. I mean, sometimes it got confusing because I'm like,
It did. It
are we
did.
going to a flashback
Really?
or is this the play? But I mean, I liked it though. I mean, it was confusing, but I'm like, once I got it, I got it. You know what I'm saying?
I like that the person acting
Mhm.
was different enough where I could tell. Like the girl who was playing Cassie, I love the fact that she had the curly hair, and they made it a point to make sure Cassie had bone straight hair at the play.
Yeah.
So I could easily differentiate between the two, and so that made it easier for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
She got her shit aired out. And her mom was fucking cracking up. And
She really was.
funny. It
Hold
was
on, we'll
funny
get to Cassie.
it was funny in the beginning, like when
Mhm.
her and Nate was just staring and looking on, and she's so proud to be with Nate. The bitch don't even realize, like, bitch, you're being dragged live in front of your whole school, and you're just like, I got my man, bitch.
Right.
But the thing
Everything
about
was
it,
okay when and we'll get into that. Everything was okay when
Right.
Nate was right there, but when okay,
Mhm.
but
Okay.
yeah, like the whole like how she made Cassie like very. I mean, Cassie is very vapid, but like how she wrote her.
yeah,
At the beginning when she was talking about how she was, how she was going through puberty and how she just couldn't wait to be like her sister. I was like, oh my god. I was like, she really laid on thick for this girl.
Or even with the daddy, like that part was almost cringeworthy where she didn't want to get in the car with the
Mhm.
daddy and they had the ice cream that was
Oh, that was
melting and
tr-
shit. I was like, oh, I
yeah.
didn't want
What
her to
was
get the
that all
car.
about? I didn't get that. So it's was because I don't know much about their dad.
Their dad was like he was like deadbeat in a way, like
He was a
abandoned
drug
No, he
them.
was
And
addict.
drunk. He was
He
either
was
drunk or
he was
high.
He
he
was a
was
drunk.
a, he was a yeah he was an addict.
So she probably felt uncomfortable getting. Well, yeah, getting in the car with somebody that's under the influence. I
Mhm.
mean, yeah, I mean it's
And Cassie was like, okay, girl, let's go.
but can we? Okay, so what's the order that we're discussing things? Because I really want to get in Cassie's ass. Because
right. I mean,
Well,
we get
Cassie was first. Cassie
yeah.
was
Cassie was
first.
first.
So
let's fucking get into how this bitch told Nate, "Oh, I want you to control everything I do." When she
Creepy
said
bitch.
that,
When she
Fuck
said that
creepy.
shit, I'm like, I hope that you know what. I hope you sleep well at night after that. I hope you feel
Her,
accomplished.
she got some serious daddy issues.
I was
I'm
like,
like,
But
"Please wake up, please." You out here
but
looking
this
like a
is why
low
I get
budget
upset.
share. You out here looking like a low budget Mexican share,
it's giving Bella
trying to do
Twilight.
what you could do.
But this is why I get
Bella
upset
wasn't that stupid.
when Sydney, who plays Cassie, has a problem with how people look at Cassie. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Mhm.
have to know that this is a horrible human being that you're portraying.
Yeah,
And so if you're going to be a credible actor or actress, you have to know how to be able to separate between the two for yourself and know that there are going to be people who can't do that. Like every major actor who's played a villain or played a role where they weren't the character wasn't the greatest a person talks about that. That's nothing new. That's a part of the craft where you know, yep, I played this villain and people gonna hate me and people gonna see me in public and think that I'm this person for real. I mean, you it's not fair,
hmm
but that comes with the territory, and that's something that you have to be able to accept if you're gonna accept the fame and notoriety that comes with being on the show as well.
well, I mean, it's they probably thought this was just a high school play. Like, ain't nothing. They didn't think it was had anything to do with anybody. It
Well,
just was going on.
Sydney has acknowledged that her character is a terrible person, and as has Jacob, and he even tries to warn these other bitches out here, like standing Nate and Maddie's relationship, and who probably are
Mhm.
now standing uh, Cassie and Nate. Like a lot of people don't know how to make that distinction. That is true.
um, and I did see Amanda Seals. Amanda Seals watches Euphoria too.
hmm
And she made a
I saw
post
that.
today. She made a post today talking
I
about
really
a
hate
lot of
Amanda
y'all.
Seals. I think Amanda Seals is one of the worst people on the face of the planet, but that's just me.
Okay. But
What did she say?
But what did she
she
post?
she made a post. She's like a lot of you girls out here standing for Maddie, but you're really Cassie.
You are the Cassie.
Ooh,
You are the gambler.
I was like,
had to bring
oh
my
my
And
gun.
god.
What?
Okay,
that
Yeah.
was the
That's not
tea.
even a
and
lie
that's
And
though.
when
to see Cassie's character is so like I've not relatable because I don't.
She's
I've seen so
egregious.
many people like that. Like I'm like, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. Well, if you think you happy, then all right, fine, whatever.
it's way too many bitches that identify with Cassie. That's way too loud criticizing Cassie. Is the point Amanda was trying to make.
Mhm.
Right,
Like,
basically.
bitch, you
Mm-hmm.
live in a glass house. Don't be throwing shit. Mind your fucking business.
This coming
Like,
from someone who lives in a glass house herself. No, shut up. Shut up, El Teddy. Don't talk about that woman.
Child. Anyway, I mean, it was aggravating seeing her on screen. It was really aggravating seeing
what made me sad
her. Mm-hmm.
and like what I really feel like took Maddie away from this whole like, oh, you're a mean girl, this and that, was the scene where she chased Cassie to the bathroom and was banging on the
Okay.
door and was like breakdown crying about like the fact it's not about Nate, it's not about, oh, I want my man back, it's about our friendship and like what you did.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm
Yeah.
having to relive this every time I see y'all. And I felt like it was I thought I had hope for like a second that they were gonna have like a sweet moment and be like, well, I just thought that, I thought it was gonna be like tied back into that moment that
Mm-hmm.
Maddie
They gonna
had
be
with
delusional.
Mindy Kaling's character, not Mindy Kaling, Minka Kelly's character,
Hmm.
where she said like her friend's boyfriend gave her the right attention at the wrong time. I thought it was gonna be like somehow tied into that, and somehow Maddie saying like, I get, you have these issues in your background, and maybe we can work through this if you just
Mm-hmm.
stop seeing Nate. And then Cassie's coward ass just stayed in the bathroom.
That
But that
wasn't
made
gonna
me
happen.
sad.
I mean, that wasn't gonna happen. Even if she would have opened that door, I mean, Maddie would have whooped her ass.
Yeah, I'm
But
kind of sad she didn't beat her ass. That's also
well,
another thing
Well,
that
it's
but
I was sad
happening
about.
next episode. But
don't
I mean,
Yeah.
do
I
that.
Yeah.
I
But
thought that
listen,
it was gonna happen because like of the way like Maddie was crying, and like I just thought they're gonna have
Mhm.
like a moment of just like talking woman to woman, even if they don't ever like become friends again. It just made me sad to know like what was really getting to Maddie. And
But
also we
you
have
know
to
what?
consider what Maddie just went through the previous episode where Nate was playing with a gun for funsies. So like she's just been through a lot.
And
That
I think
right there was
all this.
before the Nate playing with the gun.
Uh-huh.
right. That
All of
was the
that was
same day
before the gun.
Rue told everything. That was the same day.
It was?
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
same day. That was when they went upstairs when Rue had her whole,
See, I was
you
lost on
know,
that. I forgot.
breakdown.
Mm.
I just find it hard. Like, I find that what they usually try to do is they try to, humanize some of these awful people and make them, softer for an episode or part of an episode. And I end up being like, they're still trash. Right.
I mean, I
They
felt
try
like
to
that.
humanize
I
them
felt
too
like
much.
that moment humanized Maddie, if anything, from like the mean girl stereotype and like,
I
oh,
think
she's
this
just a bitch.
entire situation with this season is giving her like good character development. Her
Mhm.
situation with Nate, her situation with Cassie. Because before, I ain't gonna lie, I was not here for Maddie coming into the season because I was like,
Me neither.
she seemed
Last
like
season, I didn't like
the
her that
girl
much.
that's like kind of snooty and bitchy or whatever. But like, she really like. I've seen her human side a little bit because
Yeah.
we got to see a little bit more of her, and then with the situation and how she reacted, I think I love how she reacted. I think she need to get herself together, get ready to beat up Cassie's ass in the next episode, and I'm here for it.
Dang,
I
dang.
don't think she's gonna beat Cassie up. Actually,
I think
You
she might
didn't
get
see?
jumped out. I feel like she's gonna try to get. She's gonna try to get
I
Lexi.
watched the.
Did y'all see the trailer for
I
next?
saw
I
the
did see.
trailer.
I saw the trailer. Yep, I know she ran up on her.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
haven't
think
seen
she
the
gonna
trailer. I gotta
run up
watch the trailer.
on
I
her.
haven't seen the trailer yet.
I don't think she gonna actually pull the trigger and start windmilling.
I would love. I would
Who?
love.
Who
I would
won't?
love if she beat that big titty bitch.
Because let me tell you why. Because like I keep saying, real girls do real things. If she was gonna whoop her ass, baby, she would have whooped down
She would have
her
beat
ass.
Nah,
her ass.
nah,
And
nah. I
right
think
then and there, when it
wait,
went
wait.
down, bitch, you dating who? Get over here
We
and
gotta
with
remember.
Will.
We gotta remember though. Nate
Oh,
was
like
around.
one, we're dealing with teenage girls. Two, we're
And we
dealing
dealing with
with
Nate
Teenage girls like to
because
fight more than anything. They
Nate
don't want
yeah,
to
but
fight
we're
for no
dealing with teenage girls. But we're dealing okay. So when we're
Okay.
dealing with like the mental
Mm-hmm.
like the mental gymnastics that girls go through to like torment each other. So like she may want to beat her ass, but she also may want to get under her skin first. Now I don't know what
She
the
wasn't
tea
thinking
is.
that far along. Teenage girls, when they see blood in the water, they go for broke. They love it. What? They don't think right.
Mm.
They love to fight.
I don't know.
They love to fight. This is
I
drag.
was always a girl. I was gonna fuck with you mentally before I beat you up.
But here's the thing
Oh,
too.
that's
Here's the thing too,
trifling.
because I feel like Nate is
Damn,
in that situation as well, and I'm like, he the
he
type that
was
might
really
want to jump in
hardcore.
too. You get what I'm saying? Like after that whole gun thing,
What'd you say?
I'm saying after that whole gun situation, I don't think that Maddie wants. I feel like Maddie wants to get Cassie alone because I feel like when Nate is around, I don't know. I feel like he might do some. He might want to jump into some shit. Like
That's
Nate
why I said
is
I really feel like there's room for just a conversation after the ass whooping or before or whenever. I really feel like there's room for a conversation for like, yo, bitch, you played me. You was there for like all this.
Mhm.
You was like my sister. Like, what happened? Where did we go wrong? Why did you do this? And where do we stand from this point?
because honestly, I feel like Maddie was kind of over it, right? Like
Mhm.
Maddie, like
Yeah.
even when she was at the door, banging at the door, trying to get Cassie to come out, like she was like, "Girl, I don't give a fuck about Nate. It's
Right.
it's it's us.
It
It's
was
our
us. It was our
friendship,
friendship,
and
man.
you really played in my face like that. Like,
but we saw that that wasn't true because when Nate came to her house with the gun, before he put that gun out, she was in for Nate. She was in. That's how she was able to get in there. She's an over Nate. She's not. We've already
right, but
seen.
she's over Nate in the fact
She's over the
of
situation.
right, like she's over Nate in the fact of I don't want to have to deal with this anymore if it's gonna become come between you and I. But you as my friend, like it's not even about him. I don't give a
I don't
fuck
get
about
that
that
she's
boy.
over anything. I get from
I
me.
get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that she much rather have Cassie as a friend than give a fuck about Nate as a
Mhm.
boyfriend. That's the point.
I think she'd love to go back to having both of them.
When was she here for Nate
I don't
when
know.
he
I
came
think
in?
that ship is sailed.
When was she here for Nate when he came in her house? He was literally sitting there with a gun and he snuck in.
She was
No, no,
not
no,
here
no,
for
no,
me.
no, no. When he came in, he didn't have. Wait, was he sitting in her room already?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She didn't like say, "Hey, nigga, come in." Like, no,
Not a nigga come
he
in.
was posted up. Like, was he was
He
On
was
some
sitting
weird
down
shit.
with a
Like
gun,
he
like
came
It's the
getting a
light
drug.
turning off.
and you know them houses over there in
Okay.
LA crowd. One floor. I can't. Mm-mm.
yeah, and it's he was
Easy act.
posted up, and she came in, and she was like, you know, what are you doing here? Like, cool, calm, collected, but like, get the fuck out. And then he was like,
He
I
did
need
what
to
he
take.
did.
It wasn't like a welcoming. Like she was already done from that point.
I think
I think
she
she
yeah,
was
it's over
trying
the
to
situation.
wane herself. She's been trying to wane herself off of him.
Mhm.
Cassie pushed her, obviously, in like fully in that direction after all of that stuff. Not to say Cassie's any better, but
I
yeah.
will say this, with regard to like all we. I think that we do need to, because when I look at them, I really do try to look at where they are mentally and cognitively.
Mhm.
Whereas, when you're in high school, you do irrational shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not cognitively thinking about the whole totality of situation, like a lot of people who are watching the show would do. So that's why a lot of times we get frustrated because we're like, really, really, knowing full well as somebody in their teens, the world revolved, the whole galaxy rotated on its axis around you. And everything, you know what I'm saying, with the satellite, everything else was a satellite of your orbit. So
Mhm.
I think that's part of it too. I think Cassie, not Cassie, to me, if she could have her cake and eat it too, be a Maddie, if she could still have both of them, Kathy as her best friend and Nate as her boyfriend, or somebody she could string along, even if they weren't together, she would do that.
I don't think
I don't
so.
think that's where she is right now. I
No,
think she's
I don't
like
think
fuck
so.
both of them.
I think maybe I maybe understand what Teddy is saying. Like, you know how like you've been broke up with someone, but there's still some sort of like something going on there.
Mhm.
But I think even if she had that going on, it would still be like we're done. Because
Yeah.
she had all these people telling her like this is a horrible person, you don't need to be with him. And that's why I said she was already in the process of weaning herself off of Nate.
Hmm.
But it was Cassie who like really pushed her in that direction of like, okay, like this is done for real. I can't even go back to that. And that's the whole code. The reason like that existence of like kind of like feelings lingering after relationships is why like
Yeah.
the whole like girl code thing exists. Why like even though they had been broken up for 3 weeks and 2 days or whatever the fuck that pathetic bitch counted, like that's still like her territory. Even if they never get back together again and he marries another bitch, like that's you
And
But
then
don't
I
you
after
don't
think
the
do
and
that,
that.
then after the situation, you posted up in the hallway. You like,
Like that's
y'all-
foul.
no,
but I
I'm
think
not.
too,
It's
I think
no
part of
sir.
the one of the things that I think, and what's in my mind, and I hate to go this extreme, but it's what comes to my mind. She is almost like the battered woman syndrome, where people been telling you over and over and over and over, why the fuck are you with this motherfucker? This motherfucker ain't good for you. You see all of the reasons they ain't good, but you still decide,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm still want to fuck with
But
him anyway.
remember, she said like the
You talking about
reason
Cassie?
she,
And then we
the
also have to
no
remember, like,
Maddie, the
but we
reason
also
she,
have to. Go ahead.
oh
I'm sorry.
shit,
My bad.
oh
Go ahead,
no,
Jenna.
okay, sorry. The reason she said that she's in that relationship with Nate is because like the way that the fighting and arguing makes her feel, it makes her feel like there is something there. Like she said,
Mhm.
she had like not a liking to that, but it was just like it gave her some sort of comfort. Whereas like regular relationships where they didn't argue just felt boring and empty to her, and that's why she stuck around. And I feel like she was starting to mature this season prior to finding out about Nate and Cassie, but
Mhm.
just to give some insight, like that's why she stuck around. But yes, everyone had been calling her like a dumb bitch and like, girl, what are you doing? Especially after she got choked. It was like, okay, like this is not good.
And we also have to remember, like, Maddie
Yeah,
has
well,
always seemingly been in charge of that relationship. She's never she's never been a Cassie, where Cassie is just like letting this man just like do whatever he
mhm.
wants and make all the decisions or whatever. Like
Mhm.
Maddie is combative. She's, she likes,
She'll fight back.
as Jenna said, she likes to fight. Like that's like
Mhm.
her
And I
tea.
think that's
So
one of the reasons why Nate will never settle down for Cassie, because I think Nate wants the fight. I think he likes Maddie, and the fact that Maddie, just her whole disposition as opposed to Cassie, who's just a freaking doormat and just going to lay down and allow anything to happen.
I don't know what Nate wants. I mean, one day it's Maddie, the other day it's Cassie, and one scene it's freaking Jules. So it's like I don't know who. Yeah, y'all didn't see that
Speaking
part.
of Nate,
I
can we
saw it.
Yes,
discuss that dream that Nate had?
I
with his
can't.
dad.
I
That was
can't.
yeah,
weird.
that dream was
That's
weird.
what I wanted to. I was like,
I was
are
like,
they insinuating that he raped him? What is
Naya
what?
Right.
called it though. Last episode. Let's be clear, but you know what? I'm a pin it because it's not confirmed fully. But I don't know what that meant.
I didn't. Wait, what happened last episode?
No, what our last show, I said, well, it seemed like the way he was talking to his mom, it was like she was trying to insinuate like was something there's something going on
Oh yeah,
between
yeah,
them.
you did. You
Yeah,
did.
Right,
and I'm
right,
like,
right, right.
and
'Cause
I see people on TikTok talk about it. It's like, oh, why is people going to that conclusion? I'm like,
But I mean, we
intuition.
all know the reason that we all know what it was. He had seen the tapes at like 10 years old.
Yeah, and it was the
And
tapes.
right.
But after
So
seeing that scene last
but
episode,
we also know that his struggle with his father, even with with Rue narrating, she felt narrating the story. Nate feels like he's won. He feels like he's won this like pissing contest with his dad because now his dad is going and he's the man of the house because his
mhm.
brother is a fucking dweeb, and his mama is just she's a low key alcoholic, and just as egregiously as he is. But so like I feel like that was what the representation of that particular scene. It was weird. Don't get me wrong, not trying to justify the situation, but I feel like that's what it kind of was because even with the fight with his dad, like he couldn't win that fight. He got beat up. Like he got outpowered. And I can't remember what episode that was or if it was last season. But like he got into a
It was
fight with
last
his
season.
dad, and he could, he got outpowered, and he was doing all that screaming and hollering and yelling and cussing and fussing. So I feel like now in this particular dream, like he felt like his dad had this overpowering, overbearing nature over him, and now that is take has been taken away.
Mm. Okay. I mean, I don't know. It's still. I mean, it shocked a lot of people. A lot of people was talking about it on Twitter. They was like, "So we
And the
just lost."
only reason that I bring it up is because the whole
Uh-huh.
premise of the entirety of this episode was to link everything back to something that happened before. So everything that we pretty much were getting flashbacks of
Hmm.
pretty much was, unless I missed something, which is possible, but was something that we know actually happened. And so if they were going to give us this allegoric or metaphoric thing that never really happened, I felt it would have been out of place. So that's why when I saw it, I was like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like I
I
didn't.
mean, but him and Jules was never hugged up nowhere. Like
I
they
feel
were.
like and I learned, and not to go off on a tangent, but when I took digital media and we had a project about like we had to recreate some type of dream that we had, and I remember our professor told us that dreams, I don't know if it was a dream or not, or it could have been like a weird sequence that Sam Levinson liked to just throw in, but dreams kind of tell not the truth, but how you really feel about things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I guess when people came to that conclusion or whatever conclusion they came up with that whole montage that he had there. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I seen him hug up on Jules last episode too. I mean, this is like what
Because I
the
mean,
third
the dream
time.
started out with Maddie, and then Maddie turned into Cassie, and then
Cassie.
Cassie turned into Jules, and then that whole situation,
He like all three of them.
right?
He does.
in
He does. He said it
films.
last week where he said when he played the guy Tyler, like in whatever the little app or whatever they was on, he said some of the things that I said are true. So
Right.
he has some
Yeah,
feelings for her.
In
and I
films
feel like
and like TV
yeah,
dreams.
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. In films and like TV dreams, like always, like they foreshadow or like they illuminate various aspects of the story or like various like sides to the character or like they allude to some of the character's thoughts. So maybe like
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to see is probably going on here.
I mean, either way, I don't want that to happen though with Jules because stay over there in Cassie Land.
I wouldn't put it past her because Rue was not lying when she was like you like sucking the fucking life out of people. No shade. And so I
Oh,
wouldn't put it past her. I would not put it past her. Wouldn't.
we get like a little moment with Rue and Jules. You know, they seen each other in the bathroom. You know,
They
And she said hi.
That was the moment. Okay.
that was a little moment.
yeah, every
Hey, you
5
saw,
minutes
Literally a moment.
they looking like they looking at each other like
But I
That
feel
is
like
so high
Rue.
school. Like
I
someone that
feel
you ain't talked
like
to in a minute, and you just
I
see
feel
them.
like I feel like she feels bad, but she still don't want to apologize because I feel
Because
like she
Drew did speak to her, and
she
she
oh yeah
didn't
did.
she
speak
She
back.
did.
said hi.
and you saw poor little Jules. She was like, and then Rue was out.
Mhm.
No, Jules
Rue
need
was
to
Yeah, but I
out.
stand
don't
up.
think she
She need to
wants
stand
to.
up, like for real.
Yeah, I don't think she wants to. I think Rue really didn't want to be with her no more. But
Mhm.
I've been saying that from the beginning of this season. I was like, I don't really think Rue want to be with
It,
Jules. I think
kind of did look like that. Like she now that she has her, she doesn't want her anymore.
I hate that we haven't had any development
Exactly.
of the Elliot character.
Fuck him. I'm sick of him.
I
I'm
like
what are
sick
we?
Elliot.
of
Why are you
Y'all not
saying
him.
fuck him in
visceral?
the
Like
last
why is
2 or
I
3
don't understand. I
episodes.
don't understand like
He
the
showed
Elliot
his true
hate.
colors. Okay, at that little intervention bullshit. I should have never told
But
her.
he didn't do anything. All he did was told Jules, and Jules told everybody, and he was like, "Yo, maybe I shouldn't have said nothing." But I don't really feel like. But I feel like that's in any situation. Like if you was the
Right,
person
I'm
that
with you,
knew,
Harry. I don't
like
feel like
So why
Elliot
you
did
show
anything
up
I don't
then?
wrong.
think
Why
he
are
did
you
anything
there?
wrong.
If you not if I mean obviously they not really that cool. They was only friends because of that thing. Okay, let's be clear. So why was you even there? You should have just said your piece and then like, yeah, that's what happened.
But a part of me
I
thinks
mean, but
Jules, you got
eventually,
this.
Jules was going. I mean, Rue
Jules
knew Jules
probably
was gonna
asked
have to
him to
find,
come.
was gonna find out from somebody if Rue knew that Ellie was the only person that knew. So if Jules knew, then that means, of course, Elliot told her. So I mean, I don't understand why people are so mad at Elliot because he ain't really do nothing.
He really didn't.
I don't.
He did. I
He
got
just he just pissed me off when he did that whole like when him and Jules messed around and more so it was just
Now
Jules
that I
got on
can
my
say
nerves.
so that I can say we can,
Right.
him doing
Why?
this.
Why was that wrong? Because
he played on
well,
both their
No,
emotions.
but I guess more so Jules pissed
that
me
was
off
on
in that
purpose though.
situation because Jules was over here boohoo crying. You didn't tell him that we were in a relationship and you went and did that. So I guess it's like guilty by association. That's why he
wait,
deserves.
but I felt like this whole season they really, I mean, they really wasn't in no real relationship. Rue and Jules. Let's just be clear.
It felt like
There
they
was
was forcing it.
so I don't even feel
It
like they
felt like
officially
it
even.
felt like Rue was forcing it.
Like, oh
Right.
my
And
god,
she
I
I
mean,
didn't
I
have to
don't
finally
do
feel
have
that.
like
this.
And that's where I have issues with Rue, because it's like, you didn't have to do that. You could have told that you could have still did your shit and been like, all right, this ain't working out. Because you ended up being the
we
bad
know
guy
what
after
this
the next
is.
episode anyway.
Rue, I mean, she's a whole ass crackhead. She's
I,
trying to displace the blame. Now we haven't discussed how Leslie called her a
Her
whole ass
mom really called
crackhead.
her a crack. Her mom
She
And
really
did.
just
called
Her
her a
mom
said,
did
crack.
call her a
But
crackhead.
she's not
bitch,
even
you
doing
can go do
crack.
whatever the fuck you want. I
no, but
don't
let's
give a
get into some
shit.
dialogue though between her and her mom. I felt like, and
But
I
she's
had
not
some
even
notes
doing
here for that.
crack.
I loved everything she
But that
said.
makes you a crack. When you own drugs, you a crackhead. It don't matter what kind of drugs you own.
You snapping at me, Jenna?
You're a crackhead.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
love everything she said. I feel like Rue, I love that they're letting her have it,
Mm-hmm.
because this whole, oh, well, let's not, get mad at her because she might, relapse. So like, no, you need to get your shit together.
Mm-hmm.
And I care
I'm
about,
glad I'm glad
I'm
her
more
mom
into
I
is
care
finally
about
Gina.
seeing
Gia
that.
more than I care. What?
The black mom came out. The black mom.
She
Finally.
my
Money
sister.
bag is writing for her.
Listen, I was with the mom so bad, especially when she was like, "Yeah, if you want to go ahead and kill yourself, boo, go ahead."
I was
Because I
like,
ain't got the
who?
type of time. I
Who?
don't have the energy. I'm focusing my energy on your sister. Because bitch, you ain't shit, and you can go ahead and die somewhere. You fucking crackhead. That's what she really wanted to say.
But
Like,
usually that's when you change, because when a black mom child, when they don't give a fuck, it's some serious
mhm.
shit. I'm like, oh shit, hold on,
Mm.
let me
And the
get my
thing
trees
about
back
it
up.
is, but
You know?
this remember, this is coupled with the fact that the
Mhm.
mom found out. I don't think she can send her to the rehab. Remember, she was calling them and she was,
Yeah.
all distraught because they were saying they couldn't take her at the rehab center or whatnot. So
It's
she
reverse
like,
psychology, you think? Do you think it's
I
possibly
think a
reverse
little bit
psychology?
because I think she's at her wits end. Like, I think it's a little bit of reverse psychology, but truth to it as well. Like, I don't have the resources or capacity to fix this problem. So, girl, if you want to go ahead and do that, all right, I'll be over here with your sister. We'll be at your funeral crying.
Mm.
Girl, what do you want?
But you know what? And I don't want to, jinx anything, but like they did say, I heard something. I don't know if it's true or not. It's a rumor, but Zendaya won't be there, or they won't be needing her for too long. I'm like, please don't tell me y'all about to kill this girl.
Well, at least
I
it's
mean,
not.
it
That's
was
when my
a
that's when my HBO subscription go click and we're done. Click.
No, people were saying that about Fesco. And they said if a scratch is on Fesco or Ashtray, bitch, we is unsubscribing to HBO Max.
The
We is completely
ashtray. He got that box cutter.
okay. He was ready to go. Those scenes were cringe. That's when I was at the edge of my seat, because I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
what is about to
I was
happen? Fesco
shitting.
about
I
to
was
die.
like,
Hey, and her lips.
Not I was sitting. I'm
especially when
crying.
Ashtray was watching Faye and old dude or whatever. And
Mhm.
I don't know if he
Like
could
I'm
hear
still
what
trying
they
to
were
figure out
saying.
what that is. Like, what are they plotting? Like, what is that?
He something about the cops, right?
He read it on. He's probably an informant for the cops or something.
he
Because
is.
remember, he put the
The
phone. I
phone.
don't know if he was recording what was going
Right.
on, but it looked like he
Probably
was.
wired.
No, but remember, he put his phone
He put
down,
his phone
and
down.
it looked like
Mhm.
he was recording
Mm-hmm.
what was being said or whatnot. I don't know, but
And my thing is, Fez, read the room. How does Ashtray don't even wasn't even in the damn room, could pick up
You got
what the hell
then
was
you
going
got
on?
Faye.
Oh, not
Who's
not with them floaters, honey. Them floaters.
I'm crying.
are
Every time I look at
awful.
that child, I'm like,
What is
Like,
up with them?
those lips look
girl.
awful.
So apparently, Faye is actually a adult
Yeah,
performer.
child. We seen them TikTok
but
videos. I was like,
they be
The what
exaggerating her
performer?
lips.
She's an adult performer.
an
They be
adult.
exaggerating her lips on this
The
show
porn
though.
skate, but
Oh.
that don't make them lips no better with her
I
being a porn
mean, but
skate.
it makes sense. It makes sense that her lips look like that now. Because I'm just like, what actress just got lips like this? And then I was like,
But she
oh,
always just be there, like just
she do. She
Can you
do.
And they said
stop?
Sam Levinson like
Oh my
hired her
God! I
because
can't
he's
hear
seen her on like
you.
one. I'm like, what? Why are you
is
hiring these?
that
I
not
mean,
nasty?
she do
Like
a
that
good
he was
job,
like
but like, damn,
that he
that's
was
a
like, "Oh,
beautiful actress, right?
I saw her in this parody of Euphoria
Yeah.
porn." I was like, "Oh, so you okay. So you're just fantasizing about your employees. Okay, cool, got it.
Who's that,
Your
Sam?
your character, your 16-year-old character. That's weird.
Yeah, that's a little nasty.
Yeah, it's
But
getting weird.
they said that Euphoria season 3 we might not get for a while because Zendaya has a bunch of stuff to do.
Yeah, and that's
And
where the
Like I
article came
heard that
from. That they said
Zendaya,
that
they're
they,
trying to get her to do Imitation of Life, which is the dumbest idea in the world. Leave
One,
that
see,
film alone.
none of these.
wait.
No
Nobody
one.
asked for that. Nobody asked for you to redo Imitation of Life. Her
I mean,
Beyonce is supposed to
Imitation of
be
Life was
a
already
part of it.
redone.
Okay,
There are
I
two
never seen
Imitations
it.
of Life.
yeah, there's two versions.
I ain't never seen the second one, and I don't want to see it.
I think the problem is
Um,
it had the mammy
I mean,
trope.
they were both done
How
in the
would they
early
how would they update that
1920s.
into that? Because obviously whoever's playing the mom cannot have the mammy trope. You get what I'm saying? But it's going to be hard for her not to, because that's kind of how the story is kind of made unless
Yeah,
you change it up.
I
Just
mean,
make a new movie and hire.
but
Thank you.
essentially, imitation. I mean, you can't redo Imitation of Life once because Imitation of Life was done in 20 something and in
It was
1950 something.
1950 something. They didn't even have that type of motion picture
All these
in
damn reboots.
1920
Well, they
something.
have because there are two Imitations of Life.
There really is.
they're like 20 years apart.
Mm-hmm.
But the original one is in well, the one I'm thinking about is in 1950 something.
And the
Yep.
one before that was in like 1940 something or 1930 something. I do know that much because one is in all black and white, and then the other one is in color. I do know.
I mean, we
I
can
do know
Google
that
it.
much. And
But we
then
don't need
like
one with Beyonce and Zendaya. That's
no,
my
because
don't
I mean
need it.
one because Beyonce is not a dark skinned black woman and Zendaya is not white passing. Like, like it's not.
I think
And
if it's
Beyonce is a horrible actress, and we want no parts of her doing anything outside of maybe performing on stage.
all
We don't
right,
want her
Mercedes. First
acting.
of all, what we not gonna do,
Not
we are not
saying,
gonna come for
I ain't
Beyonce
saying not a damn
acting.
thing.
We not coming for Beyonce
It's
acting
duck
because
season.
first of all, sis
Horrible actress. She's
is
horrible.
decent. She's
She did.
decent.
She did Etta James very well.
Okay.
No. No means no.
Don't act like she ain't give y'all life and obsessed. Like, let's be clear
She
now.
did not.
Okay,
She did
I'm not
okay.
upset.
She
Okay.
did not. She did
The
not.
president.
I never watched it.
She
I never
she
watched
fucked
it.
that
Did
bitch
not
up.
give me life. Anytime she opens her mouth to talk and not sing, I'm like, please stop. Please stop.
Beyonce does have a very flat voice. She
Please
does.
stop, Beyonce.
Beyonce
Please.
has a flat voice,
We're
but
just tired of the reboots. The only reboot I care about is the Color Purple one because I want to see that. But
That's
anyway,
ugly.
but that's because
See,
the Color
that one
Purple one.
does look good.
That's
Because
because the
Yeah.
Color
Fanny
Purple
played
is.
the hell out of some Celia. I ain't gonna lie. I see Fanny on stage doing Celia. She played the hell out of that role. So.
That's because we're
Daniel
actually
Brooke.
getting this particular Color Purple is actually based is the stage play just in motion picture.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot better. We'll get we'll get all the singing.
I mean, let's not defame the original movie. The original movie was pretty goddamn
No,
good
no,
too.
no.
Of
I'm not
course,
saying it was
nobody's
bad.
defaming
I'm
it.
just saying like
Yeah.
in aspects of a reboot, this is good
Oh, okay, yeah,
because
yeah,
it's based
Yeah,
it's the stage
Because
play.
it
I've
makes
seen
sense.
I've seen the play at and I saw when Fanny was in it, and it was so good. But
I
that's
saw
just
it with
like,
Cynthia
for example,
Erivo.
the Sister Act play is so good as well as
Mhm.
coupled with the movie. That one is good too, even though the chick is now on that Power show.
Oh yeah, she
Mm.
is.
She's
I
on
forgot
Power
her
now.
name. She's really nice in person.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, we done got off on a tangent.
We
Let's get back
did get
to
off on tangent.
Lexi's play.
Okay, can we talk
It was
about the best
intermission.
part of the play, or are we still waiting to talk
Oh
about
yes, because I was speaking to Nate. Okay.
What are
it?
y'all's
Yes,
thoughts?
So we get this crazy montage. I need a hero with
but you
Nate.
know what? She set us up because
Mm.
remember when they were backstage, she was like, "Everybody ready?" And I was like, "Okay." They've
I'm
been
like,
doing
what's
the
about
play
to
the whole
happen?
time. Like, why they need these
I
pep
knew it was
talks?
some gay shit going on because I was like, "Oh, there's a bunch of sissies. What is this? What's she about to do?"
Not a bunch of sissies.
And
I'm
shout out to some of
crying.
them because their dances for real. I know like two of them, and I'm like, "Oh,
Oh,
the
that's what's
sissies
up.
in here." Okay, I said they're about to dance. Lo and behold, it was
Not
way
to I
more
need
than
a
this.
hero. Now you know that's every
They
All
every
they needed
girl's
was
favorite.
I ain't listen. I ain't seen a bitch eat that shit up since Fairy Godmother on Shrek.
Okay,
Okay,
on Shrek 2.
listen.
Okay, come on.
Y'all are aggravating. Y'all are aggravating. I hate
Okay.
it here.
I used to
It
be like,
was
bitch,
so
that's
that shit
fairy
was so
godmother.
epic for me. I was like, girl, y'all better give life abundant over here. It was so
But I'm
epic.
just trying to figure out where we get this, like, where Lexi got the gay. Because, I mean, we as the
So we had to
audience
unpack
have been
the
seeing the
reason.
homoerotic stuff. But, like, where did Lexi see all of this
But don't
homoerotic?
forget, Lexi be in the
The
corner in every
rumors,
scene like this.
But
the
hold on, with
rumors,
Nate though, I mean,
the
here's
but
the thing.
remember when which wasn't it Cassie who asked Maddie about Nate and that audio came out of it. I didn't really watch last season, but when she was like, if you say that fucking lie again, this, that, the third, because she was asking Maddie about Nate's sexuality. So I think rumors were going around.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I do
Yeah, because
remember
remember
this.
that one
Okay.
girl
And
was in the
that's why
office
he
was like,
kept
"Yeah,
looking
Nate's gay" or
around.
something like that.
That's why he kept looking around.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he was sick. He was sick. Like he
That bitch
was
was
sick.
weak.
That's so
Listen,
homophobic. That's so shut the
And
fuck
what type of
up.
line was that? Like, why?
It was.
Not
But shut up.
homophobic.
It
Right. I
was
was like,
homophobic. It was funny.
I was thrown by that line. He was like, it's so homophobic. Girl, when
They
have you
love to
ever
do
cared about
that.
being homo?
So he really is DL potentially.
No, no, but okay. I'm gonna say, and not to throw myself. I made a
Right.
video basically like kind of doing the same thing, like poking fun, like associating various cis het famous men with like being gay as a joke. It was satire. And everybody's uncles, fathers, and grandpas came in there like, why are you making fun of people's sexuality? I thought it was wrong to, joke and call someone gay. Like they only like to do that when like they're aligned with it, when people do it like in a
Mhm.
satirical form
well,
to like
that's just like
drag
I've
them.
I've
Okay.
gotten a lot of hate because when what was the black bachelor, Mark James or whatever his name was,
Colton. Oh no, I thought you were
black
talking about the
one,
gay one.
the black guy,
Mark. His name was Mark something. Yeah.
Mark James, I think it was.
Mm.
Anyway, I made a whole video which got a whole way more traction than I thought it would about whether or not he was gay because the guy that was on when he was a contestant for the Bachelorette, him and this guy became best friend and moved in together. And they got all of these gay homoerotic humping each other. We're in bed together. We waking up. We going on yachts and cruises together. And I put a montage of the videos together and said, "This young man really gay." Baby, they called me all kinds of homophobic and anti-gays and all kinds, and I was like, "Hello, hello."
But the thing is, they'll do
I
that
have
and
a
they'll
whole
call you.
wing at
They'll
the
do that.
Rainbow Coalition compound. I got a whole wing for myself at the
They'll
Rainbow
do that and
Coalition
call you the
compound.
F slur at the same time, which is hilarious.
Like,
Yeah, the way that they turn it around. But my thing is with Nate. I think it's freaking common. It's okay for us to speculate when we're, especially if
but
you're talking about the show. If you're talking about each episode and stuff like that. You're a content
when
creator.
he
You
was
have these
uncomfortable and
speculations.
when he did the whole homophobic, it brought me back to that flashback with the dad. Like it
Mhm.
literally, I was like,
I don't think he's gay though. I think
But I think we're also because as Jenna just reminded me, because we have to remember the penis thing. He had all of the penises in his phone last season, and then we found out that he was talking to
He was on the app.
um Jules.
Well, okay, so Jules has nothing to do with our. Well, I can't. I can only speak for myself. Jules has no. My speculation with his sexuality has nothing to do with Jules. Jules is a
yeah,
woman.
nothing to do with it.
Um, it's just
oh,
certain things. Okay,
general.
like you said, that him being on the app and him having all them penises.
I forgot
Mm-hmm.
about that.
It's just certain things that. Okay, well, I
I
can't.
mean,
I
Oh
can't
and
yeah,
this
and I
generalize
is
statement. I
remember
can't generalize
I
them.
remember
But yeah.
he said to Jules when he was talking to her as Tyler, like, I'm not gay, and she's literally like, you're on Grinder. What what's tea?
We
What's
get it.
going on?
He was trying to communicate to Jules in some way, form, or fashion because I guess she was on that app too. But I don't know. I feel like there's something there. I feel like, but we'll probably never get into it. And I feel like the general consensus because I'm very confused.
I
not
think,
not
and
y'all
I
because
think
the
It's
general
sometimes,
consensus of the first season it was Nate was gay, but then now no, I don't think he is.
but I think sometimes they will just dip their toe in the water
Uh
in
huh.
certain things for sensationalism. that makes people go, "Oh my God, what is this?" Where it can go down a whole direction. They just like, "Yeah, we're not going to do that. We just want to dip our foot in the water for a little sensationalism, get y'all talking about it, and
Mhm.
then we just gonna move on." And I feel like this with the Nate Gay situation, we probably will never get
Okay.
any.
I mean, why
Um,
else did Lexi make that scene? Because obviously people in the show
I
are
mean,
saying,
it
look,
was clearly it's been the best part of the show so far.
She did
I mean, I
that.
don't know. I just want to. I don't know. I want to see what do y'all got to say?
I think he is dealing with his sexuality. Like I don't think he's straight, but he may not be gay. He just probably curious.
Yeah.
'Cause why you
Okay.
got all of those dicks in your phone?
I
Yeah.
knew a guy. I knew a guy at my school. Well, he wasn't at my school. He was in our school district. He like catfished the whole baseball team at another school and got them to send him pictures on his phone of their dinglings. And he like carried it out for like so many months. I think like the whole year he did this. And he was like,
Mm.
"No, I'm not gay." He's a D1 football player and everything. He's even a coach at one of the schools, which is
Not
hilarious.
D1. Oh my god.
And he was like, "No, I'm not gay." We're like, "Okay, all
I
Okay.
think I
right."
remember hearing that story because if that's the same story I'm thinking about, I remember it
Mhm.
being like in the news or in the blog.
It
I
didn't. If it would have got to the blogs, it would have been a wrap because his
But
dad, his
if
dad was
it's
a
not
coach.
yours, there was another situation where there was someone who ended up becoming a coach, but they were a player at the time, and they, was
It's
using a
not.
girl's. Well, it may not be, but I
Yeah, he
remember
was using
a
a girl's thing
situation.
too. Yeah.
And they got all of. I don't think it was the baseball team. I think it was either the football team or the basketball team, but
Mhm.
it was a similar situation, and they were caught once after they stopped playing, and once they were a coach for I think a JUCO team or something like that. They were a coach somewhere, and that's when it all unraveled and it all came out. And it was like, oh my god.
I mean, nevertheless, I mean, I think I'm with the entertains when he says he could be a little fluid. I mean, and
Right. Right.
that's something
I
that I
think
hope that the show kind of explores. You know,
but I'm realizing with
I mean, I
Sam, he
don't
doesn't really.
But the thing about it, the thing about it for me is,
know.
I
Okay.
hate when they try to like take a horrible character and then be like, "Oh, he's horrible because he
Like
has some
Colton,
sexuality issues." And it's
like
like,
Colton from The Bachelorette, how they gave him a whole show, even though he's a trash human being.
yeah, like it was like, "Oh,
Okay.
he's this horrible person, but he's just struggling with his
Bitch, I
Mm-mm.
don't give a fuck.
sexuality and da da da." And it's like,
Right, you're
no,
just a
but he's
horrible
literally
person.
horrible. Like he's still horrible. Like don't try
Mhm.
to like make it like, oh, because it's like it's a lot of us
Okay.
gay people that's not doing that, and we struggling with our sexuality too. But like we're
Because
not doing all of that,
sexuality aside, what he did to that woman, like stalking her and putting her through all that,
right? Like
like
it's
you're not
weird.
excused from that. And they tried to
Mhm.
do that to like clear his image. I'm like, bitch, I don't give a fuck.
The
He's a
fact that
terrible
they
fucking
still
human being.
allowed him to be on the network is
Right.
deplorable
Oh, y'all
all
talking about
unto
sound?
itself.
Yeah,
Are we
I'm over here like, child. What is
we
huh?
talk so the gay bachelor, the
Okay.
first gay bachelor,
Yeah, I
and
heard a
like
little bit about
everything he did to those, he was basically horrible to like the women that he was with and like stalking them and like threatening them. And then it turns out
Because
it was
remember,
because he was
people were
gay.
saying that he only came out
it. Yeah, but see,
because
isn't that
of how
reality TV?
horrible he was to those women
But
and some of the horrible things that he was doing
But
to those
Darren,
women.
you have to understand like the damage that does with what Teddy just said. Like he came out only to clear his image, like
Hmm.
using his image
Oh.
to clear
Mm.
himself of
Well, that's why he was
any
because that's why he was
responsibility.
acting like that because
And
he wasn't really
it
even gonna.
pissed me off when like white gays was all like, "Oh, we need to be supportive." It's like,
Mhm.
yes, kudos, fucking clap. Yes, you came out, but you're still a bitch and you're still like
Yeah,
a trash human being.
you could have did it another way. I mean, I'm not saying that this needs to happen to Nate so that he can have some type of development and he become a good person. I'm like, he could still be the villain, but it's just like I don't know. I feel like
I don't think you need to add that part
mm,
to it.
I don't know.
I
Okay.
just
I
don't
think it's
feel like
Because
that.
already there. They
they
already
think
opened it up a bit, so why not just continue it?
Because they think it's gonna give Santana Lopez, but you can't outdo the doer. It will never
Not
be
Santana. Rest
Santana
her
Lopez.
soul, Santana Lopez.
Okay, Santana underneath that
She was
shit,
never
like
too bad though.
she was a
She
good
was
person. She was
yeah.
a bitch, but she was a
Right.
good person.
And she was,
Yeah.
and plus it was a comedy, so it kind of
Right.
dwelled mostly on
Right.
the
But it's
Marie
never
for
gonna give
everything.
Santana.
Ryan can write some movies.
Come on, Nia Rivera.
I
Okay.
don't know. I feel like I'm the type of person that watch something. I try to understand the bad guys, the antagonists, even though they could be some real
Oh, I
messed up
love
people.
a good villain. That's me. I
Yeah.
love a good
So
villain more than I like
I
a
just want to know. Like,
protagonist.
I'm like, what makes you tick?
Right.
What is the problem?
And there
And
needs
I love the villain story where they always start off with good intentions, and somewhere along the way it
Mhm.
goes awry, and they go, yeah, fuck these hoes, fuck them kids.
But I don't know. I mean, well, I guess we'll put a pin on it. We'll see what happens in future episodes or seasons of the show.
But I loved the ending of the episode was the part that really got me.
Mm-hmm.
Because of course now that he's been made fun of in front of everyone, he ends up leaving Cassie. So now Cassie feels away,
I was
which
cackling.
Oh,
um
I
That
was
bitch was really
rolling on the floor.
oh please.
in front
I
of the
was
fucking.
rolling on the
but
What
floor.
like
is
but
she?
now
What
but it
is
also brought back to the point of because when Lexi was on the phone with Fez and she was like, well, what if she takes it back and one of my intentions were good but she takes it back, and I feel like this is like that
Mm.
the
Yeah.
other half of that, or the outcome
Well,
of
I
that.
don't even think Cassie's whole thing is the Nate part of it. I don't, as bad as she may feel about how she was portrayed or what was said, she didn't give a shit because she was sitting next to Nate and her
Right,
coochie was
that's what I'm
twitching the
talking about.
whole
I'm not
time.
talking
she
about
is
her part.
so
I'm talking about
oblivious.
how because now Nate has left her and kicked her out of
Right.
his
After
house.
she basically said,
But
Well, pack your shit.
I'll let you, dismember my body if it makes you happy. Basically, is what she said to him. And now he told her, bitch, fuck you and fuck your life. I don't want you just because they
He
think
said,
I'm a
"Pack your shit. Get out of my Caucasian house." That's what
And
he said.
somebody said she got on her Michael Myers. Cassie got on her Michael Myers after that. How she
it
was
was the
breathing hard on the
weirdest. That
door.
was the
Let
weirdest
me
It
tell
was
you
like
conversation.
it's
something.
like
Just
the Shining.
control. You can have control of everything I wear, everything I eat. I said
It was
everything you
to
eat,
me.
girl.
It was giving
What
Bella. I'm
is
sorry,
wrong with her?
Bella was like
Bella
that.
was never that desperate.
Bella was never that stupid. And Edward was never that. Edward was never that.
I never got into Twilight.
Bella would have
Okay,
never.
now Edward was definitely Nate to a certain extent.
You tell me Bella would have did control what I eat.
Did y'all not see the first couple episodes?
I
Like
saw it.
she was
I
definitely them little moments. She was like,
she
"Yes,
just
I want you to bite me." And I'm like, "Girl, what the hell?"
no. The reason for that is because she wanted to live. She wanted to stop aging and to be with him. It
We
wasn't
made
like a
so
you
many
control me from.
references.
It
I have
wasn't
no
like
idea.
a you
I
control
did
me.
not
Yeah,
watch
we're talking about
Twilight. I
Twilight. Yeah.
did
It
not
wasn't
watch
like
it.
a
Wasn't a
controlling
part.
thing.
Never got into it.
Because remember she got mad after her 18th birthday because she's like, oh my god, I'm older than you.
Now the only time I can say that would make sense is the time that Bella um after Edward left, she stayed in that one spot for like a
Oh,
year. That was wild. I was like, girl, please.
Mm.
But and
Hey,
it was a time
Jenny,
lapse
you are cracking up.
because the way the movie did it, they like
Hmm.
revolved around her for like a year. Like the
Oh
seasons just
hell
kept
no.
changing. It was so funny.
and she's just like,
Janelle!
Y'all
But
gotta
yeah, it
watch it.
was
Y'all gotta
stupid.
watch it. Okay.
I probably would.
But yeah, it was but
That
yeah, that's
lady
the only
can
thing that I
act.
can think of that would like remotely like put it in the same, like gave the same energy. But
Mhm.
like it's just Cassie is just a horrible person. Like Cassie is
She's a
Yeah.
she's
horrible human being.
She's
she's a horrible
oblivious. And
person.
Can we talk about too how okay, so Cat and the whole dancing in the cat suit and everything. I was just like, why
so
are
she's
you
is she going back to being a whatever she was doing?
Mm.
I
Like
think
a
it was a reference in the play to
Yeah.
what she was doing, but I don't remember her
Well,
telling
how
anyone
did they
what she
know
was doing.
that?
Right. I don't
Because
remember her telling anyone.
We
me
got a
like
little
that.
cat. We got a little cat in the damn play. I'm like, damn, cat can't even get a fake ass role.
Because Barbie got into it with Sam. But whatever
Yeah.
the fuck happened, I'm with Barbie because the way he fucking did her character pissed me off.
Yeah,
He did the same way with McKay. Where the fuck is McKay?
he's a grown man.
Well,
in
you know,
college.
McKay didn't want to follow the COVID
Oh, he
precautions.
did.
Yeah. Not he that you know that girl for Black Panther.
But
Please
she eventually caved in though.
Oh, of course, yeah, that check. Come on now.
That's a giant check. You better vaccinate everything.
Girl, it's Disney. I don't care what nobody
You
says.
blew a
Disney
bag.
called
You
me.
almost blew
I'll
a
be like,
bag.
yes, master. What you need,
Not
master?
yes,
Well,
mess.
you know, they ended up having to rewrite. They ended up having to rewrite the whole script because they had planned on her being one of the feature characters in the new
Yeah.
one, and because of her fuck shit and fuckery, they were like, "That's what you do. All right, we'll rewrite this whole thing."
But in the comic book, she becomes one of the Black Panthers, so she kind of messed it up.
God bless that movie. I don't know how that's gonna do.
I hope it does well. Oh,
I
God.
just want them to stick to the comics, and I wanted Black Panther to fall in love with Storm.
They don't never stick to
But
the
they didn't have the
comics.
rights for her yet when he was alive.
Yeah, Storm is. Yeah, that's right. Because they got X-Men now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 20th Century Fox still had her.
Speaking of
I hope
Beyonce,
they put a good dark skinned Storm though. We don't got off on a whole.
speaking of Beyonce, anyway.
Not speaking of Beyonce, please.
Remember when
Please do not do that.
they said there was a rumor to going, and this is the last tangent. They was saying that Beyonce was going to play Storm.
No, ma'am. No, God.
I
No.
am here.
I keep
I
saying
am
the
here
best
to
a
save the
good
world.
Storm would be old girl from Queen and Slim.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The what?
The girl from
Old girl
Queen.
from Queen and Slim. The
Queen and
girl
Slim.
that played Queen.
Now you know this is out of the box. You know who would be a good Storm, and this is totally out of the box. Dominic Jackson.
When they had the picture up, yeah, but she's not an actress.
She's not.
Dominic Jackson is a decent actress. I like
now
her.
the first season of Pose, those monologues they gave her, I was like, stop giving her monologues, please. Please.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine like right before a bitch like zaps your ass, she just reads you?
Oh my God!
Like just
wait a minute. She take a glass.
Now there is
Listen
a
to
trans
mother.
there is a trans character that I think Dominique Jackson would be great for X-Men.
Who?
I can't remember her name, but like she's very animated.
But just imagine like a bitch reads you down right before she gets you. Like,
right before she electrifies you.
I'm crying.
I mean, it's fitting, Electra, because wasn't.
Yes, Alexa.
I'm crying. Here you go.
But you know, MC fans is racist. MC
Put it all
fans is
together.
racist,
It was Alexa
and everything.
Abundance, and now she gonna
They will
electrocute
be
you.
child. You know how many mad people will be so mad about that.
If what?
If
Dominique Jackson was to get the role of a Storm, so many people would be upset.
all these YouTubers, all these white YouTubers that talk about like MCU and DC and all that, they be like, "Oh my God, this is forced diversity and why she can't even."
Even though Storm is a dark skinned African woman in the comics, you stupid ass dick fuck.
But see, even the black community will be mad about it too.
Right.
So it will get heat. It will get hate all the way around.
Yeah, it'd be like, why are you trying to make everything trans? It's like, just let her fucking.
I don't think the MCU would even want to touch that because also they want to pander to China, and China would not. They wouldn't.
You know, well, the Chinese
show in their country.
Let me not get political. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I mean, it's unfortunate. Like those other countries, they have a right to block movies.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Don't get confused. They do not. They do not like us at
Jerry,
all.
please do not go over there thinking that they rocking with you.
I never go
not like
anywhere
us
thinking
at all.
They blocked Eternals. They blocked Eternals from showing in China because the one fucking gay character.
They don't listen. They don't like black people. They don't like gay people either.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot. It's a lot with China. But anyway, we're going off on a whole lot.
A whole different tangent.
I think because this episode was pretty small. I mean, it gave us what we needed, but it was smaller. Like it was in one scene almost. It was like it was the play.
It was long too.
It was.
Yeah, I found it to be long as hell.
Like they
Somebody
gave us a lot of different parts. Like because we haven't even talked about the conversation between Rue and Gia that they had. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I felt myself. I found myself rewinding that
It
thing.
seemed like a rehash
Um,
of the other episode.
but
The other show.
but that Fezco situation is. I don't know how they're gonna end that. I don't know what's gonna end up happening with Rue.
And don't remember, the drug dealer still looking for her.
Oh yeah,
When
she.
I feel like that's gonna be a
when
next
I
is
season
didn't
problem.
forget. I know they
Pablo
I feel
gonna.
like we're gonna see like
Escobar
her
is
next
in
season.
Mexico
I feel
waiting?
it.
Listen,
She's gonna
Pablo
pop up out of
Escobar
nowhere
is in
like, oh,
Mexico
Papa.
waiting for Rue. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
he's waiting.
I don't
Right
know.
on the border. Right on the border.
Cause
Okay,
They
what's
mama,
your
they gonna
yeah,
guys'
snatch Gia.
final
I
thoughts?
think
We're
they
an
gonna
hour
snatch
in.
Gia up.
Huh?
They gonna snatch Gia up.
I hope not, child.
I
I
hope
think
not.
final
they're gonna either snatch Gia or kill the mama.
Oh, don't kill her. I
Oh,
like
why
the
we doing
actress.
all
Don't
this?
kill.
Why ain't
It's
anybody
not.
died?
This is just a soap opera. This ain't no damn shoot 'em up movie. Like this ain't no
Right.
Taken.
But when you take people's money,
where you
when you
at?
take people money like that and you still owe money, you
Child,
gotta
I
pay
don't
the
think all
piper.
that gonna
I
happen.
don't think. Yeah, no.
She'll get in a hairy situation, but it
It'll
ain't
be
gonna
too
be all
much
of
going
that.
on in
I
that
don't
last
think it's gonna
episode.
be all of that.
There'll be too much going on.
It's
I
a
feel like.
TV show, y'all. As
Oh
I like
Lord.
to say,
You
every
say
I
that.
episode.
mean, people die.
Okay.
It's
You
based
do
in
understand
reality
that.
Okay, final thoughts. Justice for Maddie. Be her ass, bitch. And
though.
also a round of applause for Leslie for stepping her pussy up and standing up for herself and telling
somebody
her daughter go fuck
somebody
herself.
wrote for her. This
Um.
Okay.
Oh, Nate got exactly what he deserved. Fuck
He's
Cassie.
trash.
Um. Fuck Sam Levinson for how he's doing Cat.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think those are my thoughts.
I
And
echo
and
Jenna.
and, and
Yeah.
I'm
That's
I'm happy we
everybody's
don't
thoughts.
see any peens today.
Yeah.
Once again, we
Hallelujah.
We haven't
didn't.
seen that for like like 3 or 4
I
episodes
think
now.
somebody by about the fifth episode, somebody probably said, "Okay, we gotta
I
stop."
know it's been about 3 episodes. We
We
ain't
gonna
seen
see
that one
something in the
too.
finale though.
I thought that we were about to see Alexa Demi's titties, and I was literally like, I can't.
Who?
Like when she like
Who
halfway
elected
turned
me again?
around. Maddie. Like when she took
Oh.
off the dress and like turned around, I was like, I can't. Please tell me
Yeah,
you don't
that
have
dress that
titties.
Samantha gave her. So okay, so what's really going on? Because we thought that the camera was there so that she can catch her ass, but no, like
Well, I think Samantha gave it to her because it's like, oh well, you put it on and yeah, like you went through stuff, but you didn't like take it, steal it. You just liked it.
Hmm.
I think it was like a
She's going
sweet
through her
gesture.
stuff,
Yeah, and
and
she was
she
like,
may. No,
what
go
she
ahead.
got
Go
the
ahead.
camera on for though? I don't know.
I mean, just to serve because you don't know like a person. I think
Hmm.
it was just like, oh, okay, I see. You put this on, you look at it, maybe
Right.
like seeing like how much she liked the dress and rewarding her because she was
Right,
respectful
because
enough to put it
I feel
back.
like she's probably known that Maddie be in her closet trying on her clothes the whole
Yeah,
time. But
Mm.
I feel like I feel like because Maddie has never stolen anything, she just don't care.
yeah,
Mm.
And I think she kind of sees herself as
And Maddie, yeah,
yeah,
I
Yeah.
like
think
when
she
she
sees
was
herself
younger,
in
she
Maddie.
kind of relates to her, so she gets her.
Okay. Look at me trying to be all trying to start.
But I want justice for Maddie.
Uh-huh.
That's just for Maddie.
Maddie just need
More
to
Um,
whoop that
Bobby,
ass. I
more
need her to
Bobby.
whoop that ass.
I
'Cause I
was
feel like
I was happy that Nate would got embarrassed.
and
I appreciate.
Miraz.
Yeah, I think it's embarrassing. And then I I'm glad we're seeing Rue clean.
Mm-hmm.
How
But
long?
I want,
Be clean.
but I do want her mama and her sister to keep that same energy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. They need to be on her every step of the way. Now, what I want
I
to
don't
see.
even think I don't even think it needs to be on her. I think it's just a girl. Look, like we're not giving a fuck no more.
Yeah.
You put us through enough. So the next time you do this, we just gonna look at you choking your own vomit on the floor.
I mean,
Um,
in
Ooh,
keeping
not
with
choking your own
how
vomit.
Harry feels, because I'm all about realistic outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that the mom and G are like, girl, whatever, fuck you. If you want to do that, go on. But if I'm just being brutally honest, Fezco, you are a whole ass drug dealer, and if you end up going to jail, that's just a part of the process. I don't have no
So you think he
affinity
just might
for
go to
you.
jail?
You a whole lot, and he be reckless sometimes with it as
People think
well.
he's gonna get killed. Like a lot of people think he might get
Right?
killed.
He's been to me.
Well,
You need to
apparently he was
tighten
supposed to
your
get
shit
killed
up.
last season, and that didn't happen because
I
everybody
feel
liked him
like
so much.
and that's one thing that knowing people who sell drugs, they're very leery of
Hmm.
dealing with high school people. I mean, high school kids because they mouth too loose, and that's how you end up, in situations. And these kids can't hold water. So go to jail. Go directly to jail. Do not pass go.
I mean,
Do
if he
not
ends up
collect
in
two
jail, it
hundred
wouldn't
dollars.
be. I mean, but see, that's not far fetched. Y'all be thinking of like overly detailed stuff that only happens in reality. This TV show. Um, but I feel like
Hey,
that
you keep
is a.
reminding us, Harry.
I mean, no, I just be saying because y'all be like, oh, I just feel like it. It be like, baby, that ain't even. They're not thinking that deep.
They
But
should
I
be.
feel like this. I feel like him going to jail is definitely a realistic thing for the TV show. Like that's very realistic. Like him getting caught up
Yeah, he needs
and
to go to jail,
him
right?
getting caught up and going to jail. That's realistic. Now, do I think his grandma needs to wake up? Maybe.
Why
But
is she?
that's
But does she have like a cult? What is she? What?
she
I
she
ain't seen
can't
no
even be in a
drips.
coma
I don't
because
see no nothing.
She probably in
she
a
can't be
coma.
in a coma because she would be at the hospital. So
Right, and then she got all them goddamn medication. Who is taking them? She's sleeping. All them goddamn medications on that bureau.
no, you make a great point. I'm glad you brought that up because nobody has really talked
All
about
them damn
the
medications.
I'm
season
crying.
out of it.
I'm not.
She was probably taking them when she was still, functioning. You know how old people always got a whole bunch of
But
medications
they
that they don't
still
use?
filling these prescriptions though.
Right, they full.
Okay, and now she's still filling these prescriptions. I'm dead.
Okay, we got child.
I'm screaming. Y'all are funny.
On that note, we're gonna close out the show.
Filling them scripts.
I
Them
hope
scripts.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We got one more episode left to discuss. It's gonna be a really big conclusion. We
It's
hope.
gonna be a really
We
big
hope it's
show.
gonna.
I don't trust Sam. He
I
gonna
don't
leave so
know.
much.
Let me tell you what I want.
Yeah.
I want because I know Cassie's probably gonna go try to lunge after Lexi, and Maddie might just jump in. But I hope they just jump her ass. I know I might not see that, but
Jump who, Lexi?
no, Cassie.
Oh yeah, beat that ass. Beat that whole ass.
Her mama
All
might
them
beat
shits,
her
all
ass.
them
Her
years I
mama
was
don't
in
even
your
like her.
fucking shadow. This is my because she gonna mess up. She gonna fuck up her her end of the play speech or whatever.
Oh,
And I feel like,
probably. I don't put it past her. The way she was breathing in the window.
mm-hmm,
That was her
it's gonna be
breathing.
some
I thought she
shit.
was looking at somebody.
Like the
And
fucking
then
Y'all was
like
breathing.
the
Susie's gonna be
fucking
like,
shining.
no, Maddie. I'm like, no.
Not
Oh,
the shining. Shut up, Jenna.
but
I'm
that
like,
is what she
bitch.
looked like.
I'm like, bitch. Who
Jack
are you getting
Nicholson.
loud with in the
Girl.
She
window like
was
this?
Jack Gentleman Jack Nicholson. She was.
I'm like,
You
bitch.
better
You really about to
settle
go to
Jack
war over a nigga that ain't
Nicholson.
even for you? Like, please,
Who,
please.
buddy? All
Good
right, y'all.
night.
See y'all next week.
Bye,
Bye.
y'all.